Good evening and welcome to the Radical Race Series Round 3, or Round 4 I should say, takes us to Belle stateside here in Detroit. I am Tom Cairns in the commentary position. Alongside me is Jim Cunningham, who'll get a word with in a moment to share his analysis on what's to come for this evening's action. Two races are lined up. We've got a sprint and a feature. We've got the qualifying to come beforehand, before we kick off with the 10-lap sprint, which will determine the grid, albeit the reverse way round. 17 laps it will be for the feature. A lot of racing to come and more on the rules a little bit later. In the meantime, as practice is reaching its conclusion, looking at the championship standings, we begin with the SR8s. And as you can see, Jamie Bird at the top of the table on 171 points, 20 clear over second place Mike Bousson. Then Stefan Millis in third on 126, 45 points off the top. Robert Woodward is only a point behind Millis in fourth on 125. And we've got Colin Wynne, Graham Matthews, Paul LeMay, Dave Rolston, Paul Crabb and Ewan Stitchbury to have all scored points so far this season. And we look at the SR10s. Luke Crowley is at the top of the pile by 7 points over Bruno Vittorino. Then it's Soli Raitanen in third place, just another couple of points adrift. It's hotting up in that particular race. Heinz Braun in fourth on 114. It's Simon Edwards in fifth on 118, followed by Phil Glover. Federico Casassa, Kim Andre Bjorklund, who won the feature race last week at Imola. Then it's George Gonzaga and Lucas Nilsson to have scored points there. And we look at the overall standings involving the entire grid. Jamie Bird is at the top of the table over Luke Crowley. So the SR8 leader is at the top. The SR10 leader is in second place. Bruno Vittorino and Soli Raitanen ensure that 3 SR10s are in the top 4. That's Mike Bousson, Heinz Braun, Stefan Millis, Robert Woodward, Simon Edwards and Colin Wynne running out the top 10, followed by Phil Glover, Graham Matthews, Paul LeMay, David Rolston, Paul Crabb, Federico Casassa, Kim Andre Bjorklund, George Gonzaga, Lucas Nilsson and Ewan Stitchbury. And a look at the schedule for this season. As you can see, we've been to Motorsports Park in Canada, followed by Silverstone in the United Kingdom. Then we went to Imola last week. Tonight is Belle before we head to Portugal at the Algarve International Circuit in Portimao, followed by Zandvoort, and we head back to the States at the end of October at Mid-Ohio. Then it's back to Europe at Hockenheim and Monza, and we return to the States again at Watkins Glen in New York. And then we head to the Circuit de la Sarve in France on November the 27th for the penultimate round. And Road Atlanta is the venue for the season finale on the 4th of December. Should be a fun occasion. Time to bring Jim Cunningham into the booth, who's been patiently waiting to get his word about what he thinks we've got in store in the SR8s and the SR10s. Jim, good evening.
Good evening, Tom. It's always a pleasure to be here with you. As you and I were talking before the broadcast started, we're here in Motor City, Detroit, Michigan. This is the car capital. Certainly was the car capital of the United States. Now their manufacturers are spread out a little more all over the country, but Detroit's still home of the automotive business in the United States. And I love this track. I think that a lot of people, for some reason, this is a tough track, and I think a lot of people don't care for it that much. I'm a huge fan of it. I love it. So I'm thrilled to be here.
Yeah, and I actually like this circuit. I've never driven it, to be honest with you, but it's a former home of the IndyCar race before IndyCar moved away from Belle Isle, unfortunately. But it is a good track. I do like it. I like the smoothness of it and the track layout. It does put on a show for the cars on the racetrack. It's worth mentioning that the final standings at the end of the season are based on the best 9 rounds out of 12, so each driver will lose their best 3 scores. In terms of the best 3 scores, it's the scores of the entire rounds that they do, so it's not the separate races, if that makes sense. It's the combined total for the round itself that determines which points get counted for the championship and which ones don't. We are into qualifying now. We are 5 minutes into it, and we've just got under 5 minutes to go. So Simon Edwards is top of the timing pages with a 1 minute 23.8, over 4 tenths clear over Heinz Braun. Then we've got George Gonzaga in 3rd position. They're the highest of the SR8s in the field, and it's Polomé in 4th position, followed by Bruno Vitorino and Kim Andre Bjorklund in the top 6.
Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at we had a couple drivers that have not posted a time yet. Sally Raikkonen and Luke Crowley, and they are both on track. I don't know if they seem to just have not had one that counted yet. I guess they've had some off tracks or something like that. But this can be a tough track. I mean, it definitely punishes you if you get offline, and but as do all street circuits, so they're all, and a lot of people favor the Chicago street circuit over this one. To me, this is a much better track to drive. I think it's a better layout, and it's definitely smoother. Chicago will beat you to death. In a car like this that's light and can get tossed around, Chicago would just be brutal. But I think this is a phenomenal track for these cars. It should be a lot of fun.
And once upon a time, back in 1988, or around about that time anyway,
that's my
era. That's your era. Well, what I was going to allude to is the fact that Formula One did consider racing at this Belle Isle circuit, or within Belle Isle itself, but they decided to abandon going there on the basis of environmental reasons.
Well, I know that they did have a couple of Grand Prix in Detroit, but I think that they were the other circuit in Detroit, and I think it's the same circuit that the IMSA cars run now. I remember as a kid, late teens, 17, 16, 17, 18, somewhere in there, which would have been mid to late 80s. They did run some races in Detroit. It was the Detroit Grand Prix. And it was the home of the Formula One race in America back then for a few years. It was we only had one race back then in the United States.
Some overview of Detroit's Belle Isle, this particular layout. Located on the island, Parkland in the Detroit River was the host of the city's Grand Prix between 1992 and 2022, after which it switched back to the downtown area. The circuit was created from existing roadways in the park and proved an improvement over the bumpy circuit around the Renaissance Centre, even if racing wasn't always the best. Improvements came in 1998 when the course was extended to create better overtaking opportunities, and the circuit hosted the annual visit of the IndyCar Series and the IMSA WeatherTech Championship through to 2022.
Yeah, that's just I really wish that they would not have abandoned this circuit. This to me is it's honestly one of my favorite street circuits in all of iRacing. I really love this place. Yeah,
it's a lovely venue. I respect why they perhaps didn't want to race here anymore, but it's not a decision on where everyone goes. There's got to be some.
They never asked my opinion. I don't know why, but they never called me and asked that.
Either way, as we focus back on the action, we're into the final minute of the qualifying session. Colin Wynn, we are focusing on, is in P7, but he's coming round to improve on his latest lap. Let's see where this ends up. It's a 1:25.1 we did posted last time, but I think we should expect an improvement here. And it is an improvement in time, but not in position, so he stays in P7. Simon Edwards is looking good for pole position at the moment, Jim.
Yeah, that's to be 7th, and he had a purple sector in there too. That's hard. He must have a bad sector somewhere, because it's hard to believe you could have a purple sector, which for those that don't know, purple sector obviously means the best time posted during the session. So and you can see Simon Edwards right there. He's got 2 purple sectors and 3 yellow sectors, which is no improvement over his best time, but well, as we wrap up qualifying, that killed it right there.
And it's Simon Edwards who will begin the sprint race from pole position ahead of Paul Lemay. And it's Bruno Vitorino in third position and Heinz Braun running out the top four. Kim-Andre Bjorklund in fifth place, and it's George Gonzaga, the highest of the SR8s, in sixth position. Then we've got Luke Crowley and Colin Wynn on row four. Mike Bousson and Jamie Bird ran out the top 10, followed by Graham Matthews and Stefan Mellis. Phil Glover and Solly Wrighton, who I don't think actually set a time in that qualifying session. Just hope he's actually on the grid for this one.
Well, he was definitely out there on the track. I think he just maybe struggled to get a time that posted.
What are we thinking then? As well, I'll come back to that in a moment, Jim, because I think more and more drivers are coming onto the grid as we speak, and I think by the time you get your answer in, we'll be going straight to lights out. But I'm looking forward to this one. 10 laps it is around Belle Isle in this sprint race, and at the end of it, we'll see the grid being reversed for race 2. And not waiting too much longer now for the rest of the field to make their way onto the grid. 1 point already for Simon Edwards this evening, but I'm sure he'll want a whole lot more than what he has built so far this evening. Not too many more drivers need to wait now. I think everyone is on the grid, which is good to see. The lights are coming on now, and we are good to go here at Belle Isle. We've got 1 light on, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lights are on. Lights off, it's go at Belle Isle. A good getaway from Simon Edwards. The same for Paul Lemay as they come through turn 1. It felt like a slightly better reaction time from Bruno Vitorino, but because of the nature of the pit straight before turn 1, it doesn't exactly mean anything. And now he has to stop back in third position behind Edwards and Lemay before they get to the first braking zone of turn number 3. There goes Heinz Braun up the inside of Bruno Vitorino for third place, and it looked like Vitorino went too deep and almost ended up in the wall. That's Mike Bousson. He's come together with there as they come through turn 4. Will they make it through safely? I think they did just about, but it was not a very good sequence of corners for Bruno Vitorino.
No, they side by side through there can be a little tough. Especially on cold tires, first lap. Looks like they're all settling in. There doesn't seem to be anybody didn't tear their car up yet, so that's good.
We look to see Vitorino trying to make up for lost time. Solly Wrighton's coming through the field nicely, actually, from the back. Looks like Graham Matthews and Stefan Mellis might have had a little bit of trouble further back. Stefan Mellis most certainly, and Graham Matthews looks like he's had an early bath here at Belle Isle.
Oh, yeah, now we got a little action going on back there.
You could just see how close they're getting to the wall as they come towards the finish line to complete the first lap out of 10. And Simon Edwards who leads the way, Paul Lemay second, Heinz Braun third. It's George Gonzaga in fourth position, up 2 spots from his starting place. And it's Kim-Andre Bjorklund in fifth, Mike Bousson and Jamie Bird up 3 positions each.
Yeah, let's go back real quick. And we had an incident back here. Let's look at this. Oh, they're famous for my slow motion replays. There we go.
This is Graham Matthews who's going to get tagged here by Stefan Mellis probably, although he actually touched the wall and Mellis had nowhere to go.
Yeah, that was nowhere to go at all. That's right. It seems to be kind of how Stefan Mellis's year has gone so far. And it looks like Phil Glover may have had a little incident as well. I think he might have been involved in it possibly.
No, I think he just slammed on the brakes.
No, he just slowed down. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. So well, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was.
Simon Edwards is stretching out the margin to 1.3 seconds over Paul Lemay. Bjorklund's got by Gonzaga for 4th position. I don't know how he managed to do that, but he's either way, he's got through on the Portuguese. And lap 2 is almost over and out. And Simon Edwards is making this one look so easy. Stefan Mellis is already a long way back. Graham Matthews is trying to get back into the race as well. He will go down. He's already a lap behind the leaders. He might go 2 laps down if he's unlucky. But there goes Jamie Bird on Mike Bousson. And of course, continuing their rivalry from another particular Radical Championship that we know of. But Bousson got a really poor drive out of turn 2. And through go Gonzaga and Vitorino for position. Yeah, and I think Mike Buson's also lost the position to Luke Crowley.
Yes. Yeah, that was a really bad exit there for Mike.
Now, in case you're wondering, what kind of advantage does an SR10 have over an SR8? Well, from what I've learned from the Silverstone round, which I did a couple of weeks back, the SR10s tend to have straight line speed, or more straight line speed compared to the SR8s, but not as much cornering speed. It's vice versa for the SR8s.
Yeah, which this course I think is going to lend itself to the SR8s, I would imagine. Because it tends to be a little more twisty and not as many long straightaways. Although if you look at that track map, it does look like it has a few straightaways. But of course, it also depends on the drivers too. You know, Simon Edwards is going to be super fast no matter what track it is.
Like he's making it his own. Colin Wynn and Mike Buson continuing to dice out. I think Mike Buson's lost time here because you can just see by the way the gap is increasing after Wynn got by him. And that is going to leave Buson with a lot of work to do later on. Reitinen is running in the P11. Still there is Reitinen. He's trying to make a move.
He had an incident just now. Just had one.
Well, he's closing in on Buson actually is Reitinen, but looking to see that. Is that Phil Glover's just gone through on him there? Why did Reitinen go for it there?
That was, well, that's interesting. I guess it was Phil Glover, but he's back ahead of Phil Glover now, so I'm confused by that.
Either way, he's still in the race, is Reitinen, although that hit against the wall won't have done the car too much good, I would have thought. But here we are with Heinz Braun in third place. And the silver is the SR10s. The yellow on the timing pages is the SR8s. And where we look to see Bjorklund, who won the feature race at Imola last week, going for another strong showing here. Now this part of the racetrack is where he should start to unleash his pace actually before he gets to the faster corners. And then that long straight here could help his cause for later on. Now on that front number 5, we're approaching the halfway point in this first race. And so far so good for Simon Edwards.
Yeah, he's, for lack of a better term, he's on cruise control out there, just 2.5 seconds ahead of the field, moving away. You know, kind of a typical Simon Edwards performance. He just, if he gets clear out front, he's just gone. You know, he can just lay down so many fast, consistent laps. There's a little action back here though. Vittorino had dropped 5 spots right off the start of the race, but it seems like he is he's recovering slowly. He's picked up a few of those back up to 6th place overall and 5th in class, I guess. Working his way back up. He's on the tail of the Portuguese man of war there. The nickname hung on George Gonzaga a few seasons back. I like it. It's one of my favorite nicknames in sim racing, actually.
Looking at Bruno Vittorino, who is running in the field in the SR10s, running in 6th place. Jorge Gonzaga, the highest of the SR8s, holding him up. It feels to me that there is more pace at the moment in Vittorino compared to Gonzaga. You just see he's going to go through here. Does Gonzaga know he's there? Well, he nearly got put out to the wall on the far side. Maybe he should have read that a little bit sooner. And he taps the back of Vittorino. Now, could that be retaliation for what he felt was a little bit too aggressive from Vittorino from Gonzaga's point of view? We're not too sure, but either way, he lives to fight. Oh, Bjorkens ended up... he was run into. Yeah, that was Jamie Burr that ran into Kim Andre Bjorklund at turn 3. Now, Bjorklund, I think, was performing a 3-point turn.
Yep, he was backing off the wall when Jamie came through. And
that's technically an unsafe rejoin.
And then Luke Crowley got involved in that too. Luke Crowley hit Jamie. So there's potential there for all those cars to have damage. I believe George Gonzaga is classified in the wrong car. It shows him that by the color that he is in a SR8. but he is not. He's driving an SR10. I'm almost sure of it. Yeah, he is driving.
Yeah,
10.
Judging by that nose cone, it looks like an SR10.
Let me fix that if I can real quick.
Well, whilst you work on that, Jim, we'll look at the field. As we said, I saw that Solly Reitinen was coming into the pit lane for repairs. He's back out on circuit now in 12th position. He's got some ground to make up on Phil Glover, who is probably going to be the next. Oh, I think Luke Crowley. Has he got into the pit lane, or is he out altogether? I think he's in the pit lane.
No, he's still out on track. Oh, hold up. Let me see. My bad. Yeah, I think he is. Let me see. Sorry.
Who's into the pit lane now is Crowley.
Squared away. He is. Yes, he's coming out of the pits now. Yeah, I think he picked up some damage from when he hit Jamie.
Which has forced him into the pit lane.
See if I can fix that George Gonzaga thing real quick.
Gonzaga running in 5th place. Ahead of Yorkland. Jamie Bird is the closest behind him to make a move out of all the drivers in the field.
I tell you what, my theory that the SR8s would be better suited to this track seems to be very wrong. It clearly seems that the SR10s are the faster car here.
He's coming out of the right-hander. Looking at, he's just gone through the last corner of 15, and now this is turns 1 and 2 that Heinz Braun is going by. And the cars ahead of him are Paul LeMay and Simon Edwards, who continues to have that commanding lead. It's now coming up to 3 seconds, with there being only 3 laps left of this.
And I think I got that squared away now. Paul LeMay was also listed in the wrong car. I'm pretty sure. Let's go check Paul LeMay, make sure he is driving. Yep, he's in an SR8.
He's definitely in an SR8, and I know that because from another particular championship, he races in that same vehicle. Now he is continuing to keep Simon Edwards honest all the way to the end. Simon Edwards does have some ground to make up. He did miss some rounds, or he missed the Silverstone round, which I happen to have commentated on. But this is a time for Simon Edwards to really make up for lost time. Now, just to remind you, only the 9 best rounds count towards the championship out of the 12. So drivers are able to drop 3 scores, their worst 3 scores. So it's not like Simon Edwards is at a total disadvantage in the long run.
No, you would. But what's funny is you would think of all the rounds he wouldn't want to miss, it would be Silverstone. First of all, of course, he's British, but besides that, he's the kind of driver that would get along very well at Silverstone. You know, he's a fast, momentum kind of driver. So that would be a course you would think he would just love. But I'm sure he hated missing that one. My guess is, and I don't know this, but my guess is he would like Silverstone a good bit. Amy's trying to make a move on Bjorklund here.
Yeah, giving Bjorklund's straight line advantage. That's what's keeping him ahead of Jamie Bird. And I think you are right, Jim. It feels to me like the SR8s aren't exactly finding their sweet spot around Belle Isle. So it's going to maybe come down to just, finish ahead of your rivals in your respective class.
Yeah, I mean, and there is a class championship as well. So, and then an overall. But as we saw from the points we posted pre-race here, Jamie Bird currently is leading the overall standings right now, and he, of course, is in an SR8. But I guess what I thought initially was that because there are so many turns here, that I thought that the SR8 would be more suited to it. But as I'm watching and looking at what's going on, in fact, I'll bring the dashboard up to show everyone. There's quite a bit of speed that you carry through these turns around here, and so they're not quite as slow at turns as maybe as I anticipated them being in these cars, and so I think it maybe is suited for the higher speed, higher horsepower type car.
We're on the last lap now. Jamie Bird attempting to get by Bjorklund, but is not able to make the move work. Simon Edwards is on his way to a convincing victory, nearly 4 seconds clear over Paul LeMay, and it's been a storming performance again by the man who knows a thing or two about these machines, the SR10s they are. And we'll see how that plays out, or whether he can carry that form into race 2 when the grid will be reversed, which is something to look forward to, no doubt about that. It's coming through. Is
it a full reversal or 10 cars, or?
It might be top 10, but we'll look into that in due course. Either way, Simon Edwards is coming through the last sequence of corners, and he's going to take the first victory of the night here in Belle Isle. Simon Edwards wins the Radical Race Series in America at Belle Isle, Detroit. Well done to him. And we look at the battle between Jamie Bird and Kim-Andre Bjorklund over what is 6th position. There's a little bit of smoke up ahead. That is Gonzaga. I think it's Gonzaga who's made a mistake. Might have crossed the wall, but that has allowed Bjorklund and Bird to go a position each. Paul LeMay is 2nd and winner in the SR8. Heinz Braun 3rd, Bruno Vitorino 4th. Kim-Andre Bjorklund in 5th, ahead of Jamie Bird and George Gonzaga. A drag race to the line between Colin Wynn and Mike Boost on 8th and 9th. And then we've got Phil Glover, who'll be next, and Luke Crowley. And then it's Sully Reitinen, Stefan Millis, and Graham Matthews, who has finished a lap down.
Let's see what happened to George Gonzaga real quick there before this session jumps over. Oh, right there. Huh?
Yeah, he spun.
Oh, man.
Effectively the last. Yeah, and that cost him 2 positions. A bad error there from George Gonzaga. But he'll have to hope to make up for that in the second race. All the cars have crossed over the line now, so we'll quickly run down on the race 1 result, the sprints here in Belle Isle.
You want to pull up the results, or you just want to go straight to the grid? That'll pretty much give us the results too. In reverse. You could bring the results up now, please, Jim. I think they're in the warm-up session anyway, so we don't need to worry about the grid thing just yet. You're right.
Simon Edwards is the winner over Paul LeMay. Bruno Vitorino, Heinz Braun is in 3rd place. Bruno Vitorino 4th. Kim-Andre Bjorklund in 5th, followed by Jamie Bird and George Gonzaga. Colin Wynn, Mike Bousson, Phil Glover, Luke Crowley, Sally Reitinen, Stefan Millis, and Graham Matthews. The winner in the SR8s was Paul LeMay. The winner in the SR10s was Simon Edwards.
Yeah, I would have loved to have seen Paul and Simon have a little battle there, but it does seem that the SR10 is maybe a little more suited to this track. But obviously LeMay had a fine showing in the SR8, finished 2nd there, and he was a good bit clear of 3rd place. I mean, so it was really the leaders in each class were kind of out there by themselves.
So as you can see, drivers on the side just want to get a little bit more mileage. They only have a maximum of 2 minutes really, so it's not like they've got a lot of time, but may try and practice certain corners, and we don't know exactly what the track condition is going to be for later on. And there you can see the cars on the circuit. Stefan Millis right in there as well. Phil Glover and Sully Reitinen all nose to tail. And, well, at least that's happened in the warm-up and not in the race, Jim.
Right. That tore up a couple of them, didn't it? Yeah, man, this is such a pretty course. Carved out of a park. I love it. I don't know why, but I really do. I think this course is so pretty. Well, there we go.
Well, that's the warm-up session over and out, and we can get on with the final race of the evening. The grid is this: Phil Glover on reverse grid pole ahead of Mike Bousson, Colin Wynn in 3rd place, George Gonzaga and Jamie Bird in 4th and 5th, with Kim-Andre Bjorklund running up the 3rd row of the field. Bruno Vitorino and Heinz Braun with Paul LeMay and Simon Edwards running out the top 10. It's the top 10 that are reversed from the race 1 result. Luke Crowley and Sully Reitinen are in row 6. And at the back, we have got Stefan Millis and Graham Matthews.
Yeah, this is so. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see Simon and Paul work their way up from the back of the field.
Waiting on Mike.
Yep, still waiting on Bousson.
Mike Bousson. Yeah, we're waiting on Boost on now, and then we're good to go. Yep, he's on the grid, and we are good to get racing again here in Belle for one last time tonight. The first light is on. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lights are on. Lights off. It's go for one last time. It's a terrible getaway from Phil Glover, I have to say. And it's allowed Mike Bousson into the lead, and that could have caused all sorts of problems heading into turn 1, given how sluggish of a start that was by Phil Glover, unfortunately. And it's a job well done so far for Mike Bousson into the lead, with George Gonzalez up 2 positions into second place. The same for Jamie Bird and Kim Andre Bjorklund in 3rd and 4th, although Bjorklund's dropped back, and I think he's made another error at the same corner as where he made that 3-point turn at Jim in race 1.
Yeah, Mellis is
Colin Wall, sorry. That was Colin Wynn that went into the barrier very, very violently, and that is the end of his race.
Yeah, we've got action already here. We've got 2 drivers that have crashed right off the start here. We'll let this settle out, and then we'll go back and look at that a little bit. Simon Edwards flying up on Heinz Braun here.
Wasting no time. Simon Edwards. Oh, that's a skirmish with the wall there for Jamie Bird in front. No way through yet for Simon Edwards on Heinz Braun, but he doesn't need to rush things. It's a 17-lap race after all.
All right,
but Jamie Bird has got damage. You could just see by that black and orange flag on the timing tower that he is going to need to come in because he's struggling to get that car turned in. He opens the door for Simon Edwards, who will make his way through. It's when he...
Yeah, let's see. Well, let's go back and see the Colin Wynn thing real quick while we got a second.
Start with the first one. That's Bjorklund locking up. And Colin Wynn went through the door there. How on earth did he end up in the barrier? Oh, because Bjorklund ran into the back of him.
Wow.
That was a big hit. That was a big hit. And Solly Reitinen got caught up in the aftermath.
Man, just talk about punting him. Holy cow. So what happened? I'm still trying to figure out what happened to Bird.
If you saw Bird ahead of Edwards and Braun earlier, he clouted the barrier.
Well,
Phil Glover came in.
Now we've got Paul LeMay has crashed, and he has a meatball flag, as does Mellis and Wynn. All 3 of which are in the pits right now.
Bjorklund, Glover were the others to have come in. Solly Reitinen is running in P9, but I'm sure he's picked up damage from the contact with Colin Wynn on that first lap. So there's no way his performance is going to be to where he needs it to be. But it is Gonzaga in the lead now over Bousson.
Yeah, Simon Edwards is all the way up 6 spots into 4th place. He's moving up quickly, obviously, with all the action happening in front of him.
Woods waiting for his move. Vittorino's not too far off this bunch as they come down the front stretch, or the first stretch of the lap, really, in all honesty. Colin Wynn has come back out on circuit now, albeit in 13th and last position. There we see a move from Bousson there, and Edwards got straight on. He got distracted by the battle and not his own drive in there as he should have been.
Man. Oh man, he's just compounding his situation. He hits the other wall, and then he has to do a 3-point turn on top of it. Oh my goodness, let's look at that one more time. Yeah, he just looks like he was going to try to pass both of them, or he went out there wide and they got side by side, and he tried to get in there, and he just missed his braking point, I think.
I'm not sure if it was his braking point. I think he just didn't realize in the last moment that he was going to be able to get through the corner without hitting that barrier.
Wow, man, that is a mess. Yeah, his car's. Yeah, all he has a meatball flag, so he's headed back to the pits. Gonzaga out there running out front.
And this looks easy so far. George Gonzaga. Heinz Braun P2. Next Vittorino, Bousson, Crowley, and Matthews is up into 6th place now. Jamie Bird has made his way back up after pitting. And LeMay's come back out on circuit now. And Bjorklund has found his way back into the pit lane. I wonder if he's had another incident somewhere. Norwegian.
Yes, he has indeed. Let's see what happens in this go round. I guess, boy, I tell you what, it was pretty calm first race. This race is claiming some victims in the second one, though.
Too much speed there into turn 5 and
right in the tree. That tree couldn't have been in a worse spot. All right, one more time from a better angle. Let's find us a little better angle. Here we go.
there is.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Man, it just didn't turn at all.
I wonder if he got caught out by the curb actually, or whether he just carried too much speed into that.
Oh,
that might explain it. We'll go back to live images as George Gonzaga continues to lead the field. We're now on lap number 4, and Vitorino is showing that he has been involved in an accident somewhere. That could be a glitch with the timing tower, or is that genuinely what's been happening? Bird is ahead of him now. I think Vitorino may have found the barrier.
Well, he had a slowdown there. The yellow flag is a slowdown on the side of his name. I do not see an incident he was involved in.
He's back in the pits anyway. It's Vitorino. It's a terrible shame because it was running well in this. And Simon Edwards.
This has been a damage fest.
Well, Simon Edwards, after that pit stop he's had to do, is now in 9th position. I think he'll get by Phil Glover at some point, but he'll have to make another 13, 14 seconds on Solly Reitinen to make up another place from that.
That's going to take him a while, I think, to do that. Although I wouldn't count anyone out at this point with the incidents that's been happening out here. You know, it's entirely possible some more people could have some incidents. It's a nice battle here forming up. Braun is we haven't covered Braun a ton, you know, and he's up here battling for the lead though. This is shaping up to be a nice little battle.
It's a good chance for Heinz Braun to take over leadership from George Gonzaga. It's the exit out of turn 14 and through the kink of 15 onto the short pit straight. I think there's a chance here that for Braun to really get into the slipstream and have a go.
Yeah, of course these cars do have a very nice slipstream, and well, this really gives you an idea of how walled off this course is. You know, I mean, it is very much, you know, just like, you know, riding in a tunnel almost. You know?
No way through just yet for Braun, but he'll have plenty of opportunities to make the move stick at some point. Further back, Mike Boussaint's got Luke Crowley for company for 3rd place. And Crowley is not as close to Boussaint as Braun is to Gonzaga, and he's just went a little bit too deep there at turn number 6. And it's all the way down towards turn 7 before they do break for the right-hander. Bjorklund in the pits and Vitorino in the pits. Colin Wynn is in 12th place. I want to say about Bruno Vitorino, who's back out on circuit. Was that an overtake there from Simon Edwards?
Just past Phil.
So that is Edwards up the order at least, but now he's got 16 seconds to make up on Solly Reitinen.
Phil Glover certainly wasn't gonna battle Simon there. He knows this, you know, he knows that Simon's much faster than him. He probably got right on out of the way. That way neither one of them lost any time. And as anybody that watches these series knows, Paul LeMay has just had an incident.
Paul LeMay running in P11, not anymore now though. I think he may have ended up in the barrier somewhere.
Let's see.
What he managed to do is over at the penultimate turn, or did he just go back to the pit lane?
Let's
come back into the pit.
Okay, I'm confused.
Well, he stopped on as he had a
he must have had some kind of equipment issue there or something.
Yeah, I would say so as well. That's LeMay out of the race for now at least. Edwards is in 8th position, trying to make up all the time. And Solly Reitinen, I'm not sure if he's going to have the time to catch him in all honesty. I know he's a good driver as Simon Edwards, but in 11 laps, It's going to take some doing to get by Reitinen.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think he potentially could catch Reitinen in that amount of time, but it'll probably take all of that time to do it, unless Reitinen makes a mistake along the way. But this battle is still pretty active up here. It's they're not dive bombing each other or anything, but they're staying within about a half a second of each other.
And sticking together like glue are Gonzaga and Braun on the exit turn 2.
Also, now Crowley has caught back up to Busan, like we were talking about earlier. And they've got their little battle going on back there. It looks like Crowley's going to make a move, try to make a move down on the inside. No, he didn't. He thought better of it.
Busan's always going to have the advantage with the cornering speed.
That's true.
You've got to be alongside. You've got to be alongside to have any chance.
Yeah, I guess if you're playing a strategy as a driver here, if you're in an SR10, you want to probably be slow in and fast off the corner. That way you can pass them in the next straightaway. Whereas it's kind of the opposite as an SR8 driver. You want to kind of dive it in there on them, I guess, and use your cornering ability to try to take advantage of them and get around them in the corners.
Graham Matthews is doing a fine job so far in 5th place. We don't often hear that where Matthews is, but he has kept his car out of trouble at the start. Well, I say that, I totally jinxed it, and it's a concertina collision involving him, Solly Reitinen, and Jamie Bird.
I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at what happened to Gray. I'm more laughing at that was absolutely the commentator's curse right there, if there ever was one. Wow.
All 3 cars are badly damaged.
They are.
They will all need to come into the pit lane.
Let's go back and watch your commentator's curse happen live. That was unbelievable.
I'm likely to get rinsed off that.
Yeah, that was as bad as it gets right there. Oh, that might be the worst one I've ever seen. I had a pretty bad one night myself, but that's pretty close right there.
We won't compound their miseries anymore. We know the situation they're all in.
Yeah,
that has allowed Simon Edwards. That's going to promote Simon Edwards back up into 5th place.
Yes.
With all that. How much ground has he got to make up now, Luke Crowley? Well, he's got 41 seconds to make up.
A lot. Look at this.
And there's a back little change for the lead. That's Braun on Gonzaga, and they continue to dice it out at the middle part of the course in the infield. That's a great battle between these two, leaving each other respect. And Gonzaga, well, he is likely to still be in the lead. And you can just see Jamie Bird and Luke Crowley just closing in. They could get involved in this 4-way battle for the win.
Yeah, it's Mike Busan and Crowley back there. Bird is in the pits right now.
Yeah, it's Busan. Yeah, I knew it was an SR8.
Bird's in the pits thanks to your commentator curse on Grant Matthew. That was funny.
Well, Matthew's actually still continuing on because if you look, I'm surprised by that because that rear suspension is heavily damaged, and Crowley's got by Busan now for 3rd place. He can go after Braun and Gonzaga. We're on lap 10, so we've got 8 laps to go in this one, and still a lot of time for everything to change within the field. Bird does come back out now with that car repaired, and Solly Reitinen, will he be back out on the circuit in the near future? I suppose if Graham Matthews can continue going on, he might bridge out the...
He has to pit. He's got a B-ball. He's going to get a black. They're going to disqualify him. He only has 3 laps to pit. If he doesn't pit within 3 laps, they'll disqualify him.
Well, he's going to try and go as far as he can. There's no question that Phil Glover's going to go ahead of him sooner rather than later.
Yes, I agree.
And Matthews will come into the pit lane. As Jim rightly mentioned, he will be black flagged if he doesn't do that. But here are Crowley and Busan out of turn 13. Won't see what we see. It almost looks like they've had a skirmish with the barrier there as they come out of there, but it doesn't seem to be affecting the cars by any means. But the field are coping with the situation. The top 4, I think the top 4 are the only cars actually that haven't been affected at all in this race.
Yeah, that's correct. The rest of them have had some level of incident. Some of them have had several incidents. Oh,
Simon.
that was close right there.
Yeah, that was Buson who just went a little too wide there at turn number 3. Simon Edwards has got the fastest lap of the race so far, 1:23.7. The latest laps he has been doing, well, he did a 1:24.9 on the previous lap. He's still yet to complete the previous lap, of which the top 4 have done. That's how far back he is. But I can tell you now, he's done the new fastest lap of the race, 1:23.5. That is over a second quicker, or nearly a second quicker than any of the top 4.
He must have himself a nice piece of clean. Well, he does have a nice piece of clean track out there in front of him. So
leaders are coming up to lap Stefan Mellis, who's way down the order. Well, I say he's way down the order. He's in 8th place. He could go up to P7 if he's lucky, because Graham Matthews is in the pit lane. Well, he's coming out of the pit lane now. Mellis gets out of the way of Gonzaga and Braun. So I think Matthews should retain his P7 over Mellis. Here he is, look. The leaders go by.
I don't know, when they showed... Oh, did Busan catch a little piece of the wall there?
I didn't quite pick up on that. Well, what I will say, there is a car without a front end. That is Bruno Vittorino. He will be back in the pit lane again.
He's probably cooling his brakes off.
Gonzaga and Braun still in the lead. And I think Matthews is holding up Crowley and Buson now. So they're directly behind him. And Crowley's lost crucial ground to Gonzaga and Braun.
Yeah, crucial ground. Buson's about to make a move on him, it looks like.
Through the right-hander. And through the left. And then another left. And it's the right. So we've got a left and right coming up, which is turns 11 and 12. Crowley ahead of Buson, but Buson has the corner in speed. He has to be alongside, really, if he has any chance of taking back 3rd place overall. He is on course to win out in the SR8, is Mike Buson. There's no way that Simon Edwards is going to catch up to these as they carry over the line to complete lap number 12. We're now on lap 13, 5 laps remaining. And Simon Edwards, if he's going to catch this Crowley-Buson battle, it's got 38 seconds to make up, which means he has to take more than 7 seconds out of their margins per lap.
No, and even with them battling, I mean, you know, at most he's going to make up his second and a half a lap, something like that. And that's if they're battling hard with each other. Speaking of battling hard,
Gonzaga and Braun once again, both of which are in SR10s, enjoying life out there on the racetrack. Now, can Braun get a good run on a Gonzaga this time around? There's no back markers which they need to negotiate this time, so it's going to be a straight fight to the end between George Gonzaga and...
Whoa!
No way through there, unfortunately. Just ignore that. That was a little bit of a connection issue. And Gonzaga and Braun nearly swapping places there. Well, Buson's ahead of Crowley now, but for how long? Oh, Crowley's in trouble. And Buson, I think they've come together, Jim.
Oh my goodness.
Crowley and Buson have collided.
They have. Let's look at that real quick. Yeah, its connection's getting weird there for a second.
Oh, he's carried too much speed, goes into the barrier, and Buson had nowhere to go.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that was a big hit on the wall too, man. He power slid it in there. And then he's going to try to drive it back. That's not going to be good.
No, he's got... I'm amazed he hasn't been given that black and orange flag, actually, as Luke Crowley.
Wow, he hasn't. He's got no rear end on the car.
At least he's going to give him extra straight line speed.
He's got no wing at all, look. Wow.
I'm amazed.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
amazed he hasn't been given the black and orange flag.
I'm amazed he can drive that car around the turn without crashing it. I wonder if he even realizes he doesn't have a wing. Wow. It's really crazy that he hasn't been given a black flag for that. Oh, there it goes. Okay.
It's on for a spin now.
Yeah, that's just...
Keeps it out of the barrier. But these are the top two. The only cars now that haven't been in the wars at all in this race. George Gonzaga and Heinz Braun.
Yeah.
3 laps remaining.
So Crowley is still out there running in 3rd place.
Well, I will say, as JPBro gets another black and orange flag.
But Simon's coming.
Yeah, he's going to get by him before this race is over.
Simon's going to end up finishing 3rd after all of that. Because Crowley's had, I think, another spin, you know, with no wing on it. He's just trying to hang on at this point.
There we see the top two.
He pitted.
He's in. Yeah, he's in the pits now. I think he knows that he... Oh, that was a skirmish against the barrier there for Heinz Braun. Lucky to get away with that. Edwards does go up into 3rd place, but Crowley should have enough of a margin over Phil Glover, who will happily take a 5th place finish.
Oh, absolutely. Like, let's give Phil a little bit of airtime. We haven't given Phil any airtime tonight at all.
No, we didn't get off the line well at the start, but at least he's kept his car in the running in this.
Yeah, actually, I don't know that Phil's been involved in an incident either. Now that I think about it, maybe he has, but I don't recall seeing his name on any of the incident boards.
We've got Stefan Mellis now in a battle with Graham Matthews for position. 1 second between those two as Gonzaga and Braun begin the penultimate lap of the race. Bjorklund's trying to make up for lost time, getting by some cars actually before the race is over. The likes of Buson, Vitorino, and Stefan Mellis is at the barrier.
That battle's over. Yeah, I was just going to say, so much for that battle. Oh!
Hit the barrier so hard as well.
Yeah, he popped that one. He's dead too. Yeah, I was going to say maybe he could hang on out there and finish the race with only a lap to go, but it didn't look like it. Well, Gonzaga's clear.
Many cars left.
Yeah, I know. Gonzaga's clear by 1.5 seconds over Braun. If he can just keep it out of trouble, should be a nice cruise to the finish line from here.
Not long left. Oh, you just see Braun running very, very close to the barrier as well. It looked like it went a little too deep. And that's given Gonzaga a little bit more of a buffer now between now and the end.
Yeah, if I'm Heinz Braun, you just need to back it off a little bit and make sure you get it home, take 2nd place, and be happy with it instead of, you're not going to catch him. All you're going to do is end up wrecking yourself and causing, give 2nd place to Simon. And
Graham Matthews has just thrown away the chance of winning the SR8 class as he's put his car in the barrier. Yeah, he's put the car in the barrier again. He was, yeah. We're on the final lap now of the race, and Gonzaga is looking good to take victory here ahead of Heinz Braun. Only 2 drivers.
Let's see what happened to Graham Matthew here. Yeah,
they've gone in too deep.
Yeah, you would think so. Oh.
Yeah, way too much speed. Way too much speed.
Yeah, and he was out there running by himself. Like you said, all he had to do was just cruise it on home, and he was going to win the SR8s. So
what a superb performance from George Gonzaga. A super one. And there you can just see some cars that are just battling. I think some of which are a lap down compared to others. But these are the top 2 that have kept out of trouble since the beginning. And they're going to celebrate 1st and 2nd. Gonzaga will hold on here. There'll be another victory to go in the bag, which will help his championship cause, considering so many drivers, around about half the field, are not making it to the end. George Gonzaga goes through the final corner. He's going to take the feature race at Belle in the Radical Race Series. A job well done from George Gonzaga. 2.8 seconds clear over Heinz Braun. And then we're going to be waiting for quite some time before Simon Edwards, after that costly error at the beginning, has somehow made it back to the podium. Great stuff.
Yeah, I have to say that George Gonzaga, man, the Portuguese man of war comes through here. Good to see. He's done a lot of work behind the scenes with this league. kind of revitalizing it. You know, he's the one that I'm not going to say he's the one that came up with the idea, but he's kind of in charge of the league right now. And I think the mixing of these two, the SR8s and the SR10s, I'm not sure who came up with the idea, but fantastic way to bring this Thursday night Radical Race Series back. It's been, you know, and I know he's a key factor in that. I think we've got everybody across the line now. No, not quite.
Waiting on Phil Glover to get over the line, and then we can run down on the feature race result. And I think I've just seen cars going over the line. Yeah, I think that's everyone over the line now.
Yep, yeah, we're good.
Thankfully, that's. Let's run down on the final race result of tonight here at Belle Isle. George Gonzaga, winner over Heinz Braun. Simon Edwards in third place, and Luke Crowley in fourth. Phil Glover in fifth, and Colin Wynn was the only driver to basically finish within a lap, or just over a lap down, on the leaders. But guess what? He's won the SR8 class. Gray Matthews didn't make it to the end, neither did Stefan Millis, Jamie Bird, Mike Bousson, Kim Andre Bjorklund, Solly Reitinen, Bruno Vittorino, and Paula May.
Well, I have to say, you know, Belle Isle lived up to its reputation. It was absolutely brutal on these cars on this second race today. Unbelievable. I mean, literally 2 cars that weren't involved in a major incident.
Shall we get some interviews in with drivers,
Yeah,
Jim?
let's see. Yeah, sure. Let's see what we got out there waiting on us.
So we'll bring in Phil Glover. We'll get a word with him to have a chat about his performances tonight. Phil, good evening. How are you?
Not too bad, thank you. How are you?
I'm not too bad. That was one of your better races, was it not?
Well, yeah, except for the start. Gosh.
What happened there,
I don't know
Phil?
what went wrong there. I have no idea what went on wrong there. The wheels just kept spinning and spinning. I didn't get anywhere.
Oh, so you
I think
you weren't
they
late.
passed me, didn't they, on the first corner? I
So
think.
you weren't late on the start then. You just spun the tires.
Yeah, I just don't know really what happened.
I think probably Simon put some oil under your tires. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, maybe. So, considering I'm probably pretty much almost last, and I think I had to pit probably as well because somebody spun in front of me. 5th, I'll take that.
What a crazy race. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go on, Jeremy. I'll let you do this one.
No, I was going to say it was a crazy race. Did you see a bunch of action out there? Because there was people crashing all over the place. Where you? I know you were involved in a little bit of that, but man, Belle Isle lived up to its reputation in the second race.
Yeah, I can't say I saw too much action, but my pace for me started to pick up quite well. I felt quite comfortable in the end, whereas in practice I just couldn't get the hang of it at all. So, yeah, I think I just kept my nerve really, and other people just threw themselves off, including Simon, I think, did he?
Yeah, well, yeah, he did. Yeah, and it was kind of his own making. You know, it wasn't like somebody spun in front of him or anything. He did it to himself. But yeah, what a crazy race though. I sure didn't expect this. I thought I thought it'd be cleaner than that. But always good to talk to you, Phil. I should have pulled you in pre-race, but I was busy and I didn't get a chance to chat with you. But it's always good to talk to you. You got anybody you want to thank while we have you in here?
Well, you guys as always, and I'm just passing the crowd up there. They seem 1 or 2 clapped. So
well, you got
yeah,
a big fan club out there, no doubt about it.
Well, I don't know about that, but anyway, yeah, thanks for all your support, guys, and well done to George. I see he won that one, so that's a good result.
Yep, the Portuguese man of war comes through. All right, Phil.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week, buddy.
Yeah, I'm not sure where we are though. Where are we?
Well, that's a good.
We
question.
are racing at Portsmouth.
Oh,
yep. Okay. Don't really know that one.
Yeah, it's Algarve. It's Algarve. You know that one.
I'm sure I probably do, but
yeah.
I can't picture
you know
moment.
it. You definitely do know it. It's pretty popular circuit, but Yeah, well, it's good you're living up to your.
We'll see then.
It's good that you're living up to your old tradition and not knowing where we're going, so I can start asking you that again now.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay,
buddy.
guys. Catch
See you next
later.
week.
Cheers, Jim. Bye.
See you soon, Phil. Thank you very
Cheers.
much.
You're welcome. Bye.
All right. Well, you want to pull in now? You want to pull a race winner in, or? Oh,
I'm going to pull in Heinz Braun. Yeah. So, Heinz, good evening. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you. Hope you have a nice evening.
Yeah, that race was a little bit of an attrition, wasn't it, in race 2? I think you and George Gonzaga were the only ones to go through that without being involved in any form of incident.
Okay. We kept it clean and out of the walls most of the time. And it's good to know. Yeah.
How's your season been so far? Because I was around for the Silverstone one, and I think you did quite well in that one. But how would you rate your season so far?
I would say mixed feelings. First of all, from racing point of view, it's totally great. It makes a lot of fun, and yeah, of course, sometimes you make your own mistakes or you touch somebody, and then you lose a lot of pace. I think last time in Imola, I did a mistake myself, spun around and then blocking the road. So after a car hit, then of course it's really difficult to make something out of it. But yeah, I think it's more for the fun. And yeah, like this race, I think would be is the race where I pointed most. So maybe I will catch up a bit in the season, and yeah, hopefully can continue to give the guys like Simon and what's Jamie a good fight until the end of the season.
Yeah, it was a remarkable recovery from Simon Edwards, who we'll get a word with shortly, because he was down at the back at one point, but through all the dramas of others, he somehow managed to get it back to a third place finish. Do you feel like you've got a chance of the championship overall at the moment?
No, not really. I think I try to improve all the time, and yeah, just staying with the guys somehow, giving them a fight would be totally enough for me, and I would be fine with that. Yeah.
What about the rest of the calendar, though? And are there any circuits at the moment that you feel you've got a good bet for?
What is coming next? I cannot participate next race because I will be near the original track in Portugal, not at home at my simulator. But yeah, what is coming up then? I like the tracks where we have hard braking points, slow corners or chicanes. Those tracks I like a little bit more.
Well, Jim's kindly got the schedule up now, but I'll run through it for you. So Algarve is next week, Portimao that is. So then we've got Zandvoort, Mid-Ohio, Hockenheim, Monza, Watkins Glen, Le Mans, and Road Atlanta.
Yeah, okay, Road Atlanta I also really like. And yeah, I would say Zandvoort, of course, is also pretty cool. Yeah, maybe I can improve there and then make one of the races take the first place, maybe.
Anyone want to shout out to Heinz before we let you go?
Yeah, everybody in this series, really great fun to race with you guys, and of course to you providing a nice broadcast we can always watch after. It makes a lot of fun. So keep up with that, and yeah, thank you very much.
No problem, Heinz. Third, it was in the sprint race. Second place in the feature. Great stuff. Good points. And well, if you're not going to be with us next week for Portimao, let's hope we do see you for the one after.
Yeah. Good. Goodbye. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Heinz. Cheers.
Cheers.
Heinz Braun having a very, very good evening. We'll get a word with. Ooh, should we go for Simon or should we go for George? Jim, what do you reckon?
Let's pull George in.
Okay. We'll get a word with the feature race winner, George Gonzaga. Survival of the fittest, I think that is pretty much the appropriate phrase for that particular event here in Belle Isle.
That's completely accurate, actually. I think only me and Heinz didn't crash, right?
I did mention that to him, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It was really tough. It was hard to. My main focus was just survival, to be honest. But I had Heinz behind me, and he's proper fast. I know he's way faster than me. So I think he was kind of taking it easy, like he was getting out of the draft, like trying to keep up. I knew he was going to attack on the end. But then mid-race, my rear started to heat up. I started losing a bit the car. That's when we got the bit that tit for tat. But then that section with the switcheroo, that was actually really satisfying. I hope that was on the broadcast. But yeah,
it was,
it's
and it's
really
actually it's up there right now as you're talking about it.
Oh yeah, I can see it now. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, it's so demanding. This track is insane, and I actually fractured my finger this week, and it was hurting so much. But yeah, as soon as I was in front, I was like, okay, I wanna win this. To be honest, so I gave my best. Yeah, and it came out.
What did you manage to do to the finger to fracture it?
It's like just a small fracture. Is it's a bit swollen, and I cannot close my fist properly. So grabbing the wheel is actually really hard. But winning was stronger. So the will of winning, it was stronger. So I had to endure the pain. But no pain, no gain, like they say, right?
That's right.
Well, it was all worth it though, wasn't it?
No, it was a good race. Yeah, and really kudos on Heinz. Yep.
The rest of the season, we've got Portimao next, then Zandvoort, Mid-Ohio, Hockenheim, Monza, Watkins Glen, Le Mans at Road Atlanta. Any of those that you fancy you've got a good chance of?
To be fair, all of them are quite good tracks, and I guess Road Atlanta is one of my favorites, so I look forward to that. But I think the schedule is really well done. A lot of variety in terms of tracks that we don't normally use, so I really look forward to the rest of the championship. Yeah.
Anyone on the shout to, George, before I let you go?
I want to give a big shout out to everyone who's participating in these races. It was a megalomanous effort to try to bring this league from the ashes. So I'm really grateful to everyone who joined in, the new drivers, the old drivers. I want to give a big shout out to that community because I'm really thankful for everyone to joining, and now we have full grids, which is what we wanted. So yeah, big shout out to the community.
I agree.
Excellent.
I want to congratulate you for. I'm sure that there was a lot of people that helped with that, but I know that you took a leadership role there, and it's it is a big effort to do that, and it's great to see this league back up. I messaged you before the season. I was dying for this league to come back, and I wanted to make sure that hopefully we got to broadcast it as well, because it's one of my favorites, and it's all of my favorite people in sim racing. I love you guys, and I'm thrilled to be back here, and I'm so glad to see this series back. I really am.
Likewise, guys. Jim, Tom, without your support and James as well, of course, James broadcast. That's pretty much what the community wants, is to be engaged, and I think you guys are a big contributor to that, and a massive asset that we have. So I'm also very thankful for all the good work you guys put up every week.
All right, buddy. Hopefully we'll talk to you again soon, and you got to keep that Portuguese man of war reputation up there.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to win more so I can come and
plus you're going to be at home next week.
I'm actually not. I'm missing next race.
No,
actually,
you can't miss your home race. What are you doing?
I know. And last time we raced in Portimao as well, I couldn't attend. I don't know. There's something about Algarve.
Is that a Portimao curse or something?
It must be.
Yeah. I guess I don't know. Like maybe because I prefer Estoril, the other Portuguese track. I don't know. I think Portimao. I'm kind of thinking my roots going to Portimao, but I don't know. Let's see one day.
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Cheers.
Right.
Bye.
That was George Gonzaga coming out on top in the feature race at the end. Let's get a word with the man who has taken the majority of the points throughout the whole round of this evening. Simon Edwards, sprint race winner tonight, third in the feature race.
Yeah. Did you like me throwing it away from such a good start? It was
Oh.
either do that or hit the back of Heinz, and I thought I'm going to sacrifice myself here. Hope I bounce off the tires, but took my wheel off or half off. Yeah.
There is a part of me, Simon, that felt like I kind of glad it happened because I wanted to see how you cope with the challenge of it. Not because I'm being mean or whatever, but I just thought, because we are used to seeing you fighting at the front. Whenever you do turn up tonight, it was just a nice. It was just a different challenge for once, and I'm really happy that you was able to recover from there, given the attrition that we had in that feature race.
Yeah, I just kept going more and more up the grid without doing anything. Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say without doing anything. You turned the fastest lap of the race by over a second at one point after you had crashed. So, yeah, I wouldn't say. Well, I wouldn't say not doing anything. You were putting down some blistering laps, but you probably don't want to look at the replay that's going on right now.
I am. I can see it right now.
It's probably not going to. Not going to be.
And then you see me try and spin turn, and I completely take the wheel off. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was when when I saw you do that, I was like, man, it's getting worse. He just put it in the other wall, trying to turn it around.
I'd already broken the wheel, so I just couldn't spin turn it. It just understeered. So I don't think I did too much more damage, to be honest with you. Yeah, I mean, I'm really comfortable around this track. I always have been. So in that race, I was just trying to be patient, but I just got too, I can't think of the word when you think things are going to go your way. Yeah.
Well, confident, but yeah, you were, you kind of took on an aggressive moment there when they as you were coming up there, I forget who was in front of you, but was
Heinz and Mike.
Yeah, Mike Buson. Yeah, and he swung it out there too wide, so you kind of had to take it out 3 wide a little bit, and at that moment, it looked like you were going to back out of it, which you kind of did a little bit, but then I think that like you said, you thought you were going to hit Mike, and you ended up putting it in the wall to keep from hitting him, but. But overall, I mean, if somebody would have told you were going to smack it into the wall like that and knock the front end off of it and still we're going to finish third, you'd have took that as soon as they said it. So
I think so, yeah. I probably took the most points from the meeting. I probably got fastest laps in both races.
You definitely had fastest lap in this one because you put a blistering lap down when you had some open track there in front of you. So. But I'll tell you, I know you've been involved in the BOP of these cars and stuff like that. And again, I just want to congratulate y'all on this great idea. I love this series, and I think if we could, everybody just tell a friend and get some fuller grids out here, man, we're going to have some crazy good racing.
Two very different ways of two cars that drive very differently.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's there's something for everybody, really.
There really is.
I know George was saying to me, "You've put too much weight on the 8," and I was driving in the 8 yesterday in a race, and I was like 0.3 of a second faster than the 10s. So I think it's just me. So I need I might get somebody else's help just to make sure I don't put too much weight on the 8.
Well, and I know you drive the 10 mostly, but I think that your driving style, I think that I could see where the 8 would suit you as well. So I think maybe you get it close and then let somebody else shake them out the fine a little bit, and but
normally I'd like to try and get ahead.
I love what y'all are doing, though. I really do. It's I really, really hope that more people learn about this and come enjoy it. I mean, heck, it's even a free car if you want to come race the 8. It doesn't cost you a whole lot to come do this for sure. So.
It's the easier car to drive as well. So.
Yeah, no, and it's a good car. It's a car. Both of these cars are cars that people should have to drive before they advance into the sports cars and open wheels. I think this car helps you get ready for both classes, moving up in open wheel and in sports cars.
Yep, it certainly does. Yeah.
All right, buddy. It's always good to talk to you.
Yeah, you too, Jim.
Yep, and I'm sure we'll talk to you here next week or soon anyway, for sure.
Yeah, I'll
All
try
right.
and not be so spectacular next time.
You know,
Yeah.
that's nothing wrong with a little drama. We need that too. People like to see that kind of stuff.
Okay, all right. See you,
All
see you
right,
next
buddy.
week.
Talk to you later.
Thank you very much, Simon. That was Simon Edwards, who we spoke to, who won the sprint race earlier on before finishing third after being at the back earlier on after locking up at turn 3. That rounds out the evening's action. Jim, your final thoughts on what's been a chaotic event here at Belle Isle, Detroit?
More chaos than I thought, but I mean, still good racing. You know, I mean, there was plenty of good passing. We had battles for first and second and third. I mean, third and fourth. You know, we had battles up and down the field. I mean, you know, again, the way this whole thing goes with both cars, I love it. I think this is fantastic, and yeah, I enjoy every bit of it. So that's all I can say. Looking forward to next week,
which will be in Portimao in a week's time. Thank you very much to everyone that's tuned in. Do make sure you like and subscribe to the JP Broadcasting YouTube channel. You can keep right up to date with all the action that's been streamed on the channel itself. Jim, thank you very much for your company this evening. It's been great, as always, for you to come on board and analyse the action as it is happening. And it's time to sign off after what's been a chaotic evening. It was Simon Edwards winning the sprint and George Gonzaga surviving the attrition to come out in the feature. Will we see a repeat of it from someone in Portugal? Well, you know where to look. I am Tom Cairns with Jim Cunningham, and we'll speak to you again soon when the Radical Race Series returns.